social media.
It doesn't matter. No one can see us anyway.
For now.
We think the show's probably not. Literally, everyone's videos are messed up. No one can see videos. It won't run till later, probably. It's probably recording. It's probably running now, but it's black screen. Yeah. You can probably hear me. Hey!
I'm looking at a black screen.
Hello! Hello, Brianna!
Mine is just a little squirrel.
I seriously don't know what happened to this microphone now. Something happened.
Definitely. I didn't touch your mic. I know that. I do know that.
And it's like coming off here too. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, that's not it.
Please stand by.
Aha!
It sounds like there's a rodent furring. It's Justin adjusting the wrong piece of his mic.
Because someone was messing with my mic. Very
I
clearly,
not.
someone was messing. I don't know who it was,
Okay.
but before the show, you told me I did use your mic.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Said I used the tablet
Oh.
to get.
Well,
some
obviously
music
you nudged my mic.
on. I nudged it so hard.
You nudged it.
It came up.
This is Behind the Law with Justin Clark on ESPN 580 Orlando.
And welcome to the program. It's another edition of Behind the Law right here on ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is attorney Justin Clark. Thank you for spending your evenings here with us. We follow live, local, and loud. Great show tonight. Nicky Football and the crew. You can also watch the TV shows this weekend and every weekend. Saturday, 12:30 p.m. over on CBS. It is You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And then Sunday at 10 a.m. on TV 27, it is this show, Behind the Law, but it's Behind the Law on television. Also, don't forget, you can interact with us on the internet, the social media world, or whatever at Behind the Law Radio, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even Twitch, so you can ask us questions right there as well. The beautiful Brianna is here to my right. Hello, Brianna.
Hello, Justin.
How you doing today?
Awesome. How are you?
Great show in store for you. We're going to do a little bit of news. Brianna has a little something to yell about today. I've been yelling long enough. We'll also play Stump the Clarkie in the second half hour, and we'll also have a fantastic interview with the returning guest. She is Alyssa Hogan of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises, best described as a life coach, entrepreneur, a little bit of everything. We're going to talk to Alyssa. Welcome into the show, Alyssa. First of all, how are you? Good to see you again.
I'm marvelous. Thank you for having me back.
You got it. I'm just happy you're here. I have a question for both of you. Brianna, let me start with you here. Mm-hmm. So this texting and driving thing,
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of traction to the point where now you can actually be pulled over just for texting and driving. Look, this has got to be a good thing, but I've also wanted to ask like some people who really know, some scientists, people, what's more dangerous, like drinking and driving or texting and driving? I bet it's similar. Don't you?
I believe so. I honestly think that when you're texting and driving, it's called distracted driving. So there's a word for it, and falls into that category is texting, doing your makeup, reading an email, even looking at your GPS, fiddling around with anything other than focusing on the road.
Right.
You might as well. An officer described it to me saying that you might as well drive with the blindfold on. If you're looking down at the phone, you're not paying attention to the road, or you're full, or if your attention's divided. So it's. I feel like it's similar as drinking and driving, because you're driving while impaired. You're impairing your judgment because you're not putting all of your attention on where it needs to be at, which is driving.
I totally agree, but it makes me think of something else as well. And what really brought this up in my head was we had a manhunt in my neighborhood the other day, and it was terrific.
It was
amazing. It was just because they caught the guy. No one was really, the deputy ended up being okay, and it was great seeing all the police officers come out in force and work together and really catch this bad guy. Mm-hmm. But I've never understood something. I remember from the time I was 16 in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. Got my license, right? Driving a car for the first time. It was great. One of my very good friends, his name is John Robbins. Haven't talked to him in probably 10 years, a decade or so.
Look at that.
He was like, dude, you're driving down the street, take off your hat while you're driving. You know, cops are going to be looking for stuff like that. It was genius, really, if you think about it. But I've never understood people who have like a felony or something, who are doing something wrong, who are doing something so dumb to get pulled over again, to get busted again. This is what happened to this guy in my neighborhood the other day. He was a felon. He had 2 guns in his car and everything. But you know why he got pulled over? You want to guess?
No, why?
The tinting of his windows was too dark.
Of
If you're a felon driving around packing heat, don't you think you're going to drive a car the speed limit with the windows not tinted so you don't give them a reason to pull you? It's like the guy who is driving down the street at 2 a.m. with the "it's 5 o'clock somewhere" bumper sticker. You know? I mean, don't you think if you're a police officer and you see them go out of the lane just a little bit, you're going to pull over "it's 5 o'clock somewhere" bumper sticker guy
Oh, yeah.
at 2 a.m.?
What you swerving for, sir?
Or the guy who, you know, there's smoke billowing out of the car and he's got Cheech and Chong bumper sticker.
And you can smell it.
Yeah.
I mean, just
I
like,
think that's a good place to start.
hey, party animal.
I've never understood these idiots who drive around like this.
That's true.
But now, here's what's going to happen. These people who are also felons or wanted, they're going to get pulled over for texting and driving at the same time. That's exactly what's going to happen. My advice to you is be smart. If you're just smart, you know, drive 5 or 6, 7, 8 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're probably not going to get pulled over. Take off your hat. Definitely take off the "it's 5 o'clock somewhere." You know, I've had too many martinis announcement that you're putting on your car, right?
Yes.
I mean, I really think that's what you should do. So the new texting and driving is going to be another way to probably get bad guys off the street too, because people are going to get pulled over and figure out they have a warrant, and it's just another interaction with the police and a way to see if you're a wanted person or if you've been drinking, having cocktails at noon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There was a up in Marietta, Georgia. Sorry, there had the cops disguised as construction workers,
oh yeah,
and they were pulling over. They pulled over like 300 people in 2 hours, and they arrested 2 of them on it was a traffic.
Yeah.
They did it for traffic, and they realized that you have warrants. So come on
another
in.
thing about the manhunt in my neighborhood was we saw all the undercover cars come out. There were trucks that looked like
So they're not undercover anymore.
one of them was like a pet catcher. It had like it had like cages in the back. You know how when you have
awesome.
if you have raccoons or something, I don't really know this because we had raccoons. We had to hire these people. They would come by in their truck with a cage and bring the cage there with the cat food in it. And I was like, I could have done that first of all.
It's kind of cool.
I could have bought a can of cat food, pal. But anyway, it's fine. I don't want to deal with them. But the best undercover truck it looked like a pet catcher or a rodent catcher truck, beat up old white truck that you couldn't tell it was a police officer at all. But now they kind of blew their cover in my neighborhood because we saw them out chasing the bad guy. Anyway, you had something else to say, Brianna. Go ahead.
Well, you're a little bit older than me.
Hey,
So
take it easy. I turned 40 years old this month.
yeah, you're almost catching up to my husband.
He's older than me?
Yeah, he just turned 41.
Oh, wow. Good. I feel a little better. He'll never be younger than me.
That's true, I guess. So, did you know that when you go to high school, and you know how like the student government's a thing, did you know that your class president is your class president for life? Like that's your student government for life?
I didn't know that till recently because we were having a 20-year reunion and this dude was like posting stuff saying,
Okay.
well, I'm the class president. I had no idea they had to be in charge.
So that's the thing. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And my class is coming up on their 10-year reunion.
Don't tell me you were class president.
I'm not class president.
Okay.
There was something going on in our high school, but they almost impeached our class president,
Oh, wow.
and I was going to be the acting class president. You know what? It was a thing. But I was not our class president. Thank God for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I didn't realize is that our class president is responsible for planning this entire reunion. And our class president is, how does one say,
I don't know. Just say it.
in rehab.
Oh, sweet.
So our
I mean,
class
not
president's
sweet.
not planning
I don't
anything.
look. I don't mean that. I don't mean it negatively at all. I mean, look, I hope they recover. I'm just saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
Saying what happened in these
I
10
don't know.
years? Like, what
I
in the
just
world's
know,
going on?
Maybe they're in rehab now because you guys tried to overthrow them in high school.
Look, nobody liked them then. We don't like them now. Let's be
That's
honest.
messed up.
Here it is. Okay, here it is.
You-
We're still
you
waiting on our
start-
hoodies,
you
our senior
started
hoodies.
this downhill spiral.
We're still waiting
for
on
this, for this guy. I mean, you should be apologizing. Is what you should be doing.
Should we?
trying to overthrow a poor 17-year-old kid who was
You
just
didn't-
trying to be the class president.
Meanwhile, 10 years later, you still haven't gotten it together. And anyways, so I was thrown into this Facebook group because you know how I like being thrown into things that, I don't
Yeah.
plan on. And there's just like this giant discussion about who is now in charge of planning our reunion. And the rest of the student government is now, our secretaries trying to do things. And it's like, it's literally like a battle of who's going to be the leader of the camp at this point. And it's ridiculous.
So did you throw your name into the ring?
I did let them know that I'd be available to help them if they needed organizing the event, but the class president, mind you, added herself back into the group, and she was cussing people out. And
Wait a
it was
minute,
just
the one that was in rehab.
right. Well, apparently they still got their phones. I don't know what rehab they went to, but let me tell you, this got a little freedom.
I mean, at this point, I've had a 10-year and a 20-year, and I've never even contemplated going back.
Yeah, I'm highly considering not going. I
mean,
don't
you should
think I
go.
know a lot of people from my
Where-
high school.
You went to
so-
high school where? In Jacksonville?
I did go to high school in Jacksonville, and I'm
So
not
it's pretty
really
close.
I'm
I
not in
mean,
a rush to get back.
I
I'm okay with it.
I don't know.
I'm
It's just
I'm okay.
kind of
with it.
weird. It's just
I'm
uncomfortable.
with you.
It's just
I've had
weird.
a 10 and a 20 year.
Yep.
Actually older than you.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
love it.
April, I turned 40, but it's like
wow.
the turn up 40.
So we're almost the same age.
Almost.
Oh, wow. 3 or 4 months.
Except I'm cute.
Another thing about you that I want you to know, and don't forget this, is you'll always be older than me, too.
Don't forget this.
Plenty coming
I
up.
won't forget.
We've got Alyssa Hogan here with Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. She's going to help take your business to the next level. I'm going to tell you how. Right on the other side of this very short break, Justin Clark with you on Behind the Law.
Everyone's like, I guess everyone has kids now, so they're like, oh yeah, can we just do an event where we just have a picnic in a park and bring
No.
all of our kids?
How
And I'm
about
like,
no?
How about
so
no?
I'm not driving up there for that, nah. And they were like, if everyone just pitches in, and they're throwing some
No.
crazy numbers out for a
I
picnic.
don't want to see Pookie, Lily.
Mm.
I don't care about your
Leroy.
kids. I don't care. There's 2 children that are allowed at our class reunion, and these are the kids that were born while we were in high school. So they're like our kids,
Yeah.
Like that kid's 10.
Well,
Right.
technically, that would be my son, the
Oh,
oldest
yeah?
one. Yeah,
So-
he was born my senior year,
Oh,
right before
wow.
I came back.
Yeah, so the kids who are born like junior year, senior year, bring those kids because we already know them. They know us. It's a thing. Those are
But
our
I
kids.
literally, I'm
we
not
pitched
bringing
it.
them. I'm staying home. I want to
Everyone else, leave your kids at
have
home.
fun.
Leave your children.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program. Justin Clark here with you. The beautiful Brianna to my right on the blue microphone, and across the studio desk from her to my left on the red microphones, our good friend, returning guest, Alyssa Hogan. She is the owner, founder of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. Alyssa, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You gotta explain to our audience what exactly do you do over at Alyssa Hogan Enterprises? I know
everything.
but they need to know. Tell me.
Okay, well, I refer to myself now as a business strategist. I create strategies to help you either start or grow your businesses. Also deal with corporations and government. So that's what I do.
Biggest mistakes of business owners just starting out.
Ooh, where do we start? Business bank accounts?
Yeah.
Not planning? Because planning involves research about your industry. You don't research it, you're planning to fail, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Commingling your money, not filing taxes. It's just,
That's a slippery slope.
yeah, it's just,
I agree, 100%. And what happens is you start a business and you're so uber focused on getting clients, building your product, whatever you're doing, that you lose focus on something that seems like you can go catch up on over the weekend. And then it becomes next weekend, then next weekend, then next weekend. And you get so far behind on keeping your financials together. The IRS man starts knocking on your door. You're behind on bills. Your vendors aren't giving you products anymore. It is an absolute death trap for business owners. And it is so easy to set up that QuickBooks from the beginning and have an accountant stand by. Accountants aren't that expensive,
they aren't.
You really need to do it right from the beginning or it just becomes a nightmare. And I've seen many businesses fail for not having their books up to date.
Correct. I've even found that when working with companies that are already in business, they'll not know that they're actually not making a profit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it feels like you're making a profit because you're exchanging money, but more money's going out. And if you don't know this, you're just like in business. You're spinning your wheels. You're not really in business.
Yeah, it's like life too. I mean, I meet with families all day who are filing bankruptcy, and I say, look, you need to sit down and go through what's coming in every month, well, what we're paying out every month, and they come in and they're like, Justin, I don't know how I've been doing it for the last 4 years. I'm at negative $3,000 a month. I don't know how I've been doing it, and that's the same thing with businesses. You have to be real with yourself, and you need to be real with yourself with some real accurate numbers. And see, maybe you have one department that's actually doing well. You thought it was your little stepchild, but that's where the real money's coming in.
Exactly.
But how are you going to know unless you have real accurate information to look at least weekly or monthly at the least, you know?
I agree. It's kind of like that moment where I used to look inside my bank account. You know, you check your bank account and you don't want to check it because you're afraid that it's going to be negative, which you know is negative. That is how it is about your business. You have to look into those numbers. They are dire because you have to know what the problem is in order to fix it.
I fully agree. Alyssa Hogan's here, Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. So many of us out there have been working, punching a clock for years and years and years, and it becomes a little bit of a comfort zone in some way, but we're not really getting ahead, but we're afraid if we miss one paycheck, miss two paychecks, we literally can't provide food for our families. And that's why we stay in this job that we kind of hate, you know? And we really have always wanted to try to hang our own shingle, so to speak. We've always wanted to start our own business. How do I know, Alyssa Hogan, if I am cut out to be a business owner?
Well, I always, when I'm talking to my clients, you are the expert. They're expert hairstylists, they're expert lawyers, but they're not necessarily expert in business. You have to actually reach out, get that mentor, someone who's actually versed in business. They have experience in the business industry. Because I don't think it's just something that just automatically comes natural. You have to work at it. I've continuously worked at it. I've failed. I've lost money. I've, invested in things. And then when people talk about business credit, to even have those vendors, to even pay or have things put on credit, you have to be, you have to be a business that they want to give credit to. So if your personal credit is not credit worthy, why would I give you business credit? So that even knocks you out of the box when it comes to creditors in your business.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I mean, how do I know if it's time? How do I know that it is time that I can really pull the trigger? Do I need to have a certain amount of money in my bank account? Do I need to make sure I keep a day job? How do I know when it's time?
I would say keep your day job. I know we always see on there that it says, oh, quit your job, start your business. Okay, you're going to quit your job, and what's going to fund your business? Because that money just doesn't automatically come when you first start. You have to actually, there are going to be expenses. Keep your expenses super, super low. You will know when you can replace that income where it's coming in on a weekly basis, like how your paycheck is coming in. And you have to monitor that. You have to monitor that day-to-day sale, that $20 you made from that shirt sale. The next day, that the 5 shirts you sold and made $100, subtracting from what you spent out. So don't quit it because it's funding that dream. Don't quit it until you actually are able to replace it.
Sure. Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, attorney Justin Clark with you, talking to Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. How do I reach out?
How do you reach out? You can give me a call at 407-308-5838 or go to my website, alyssahogan.com. .com.
I think the credit piece that you mentioned earlier is something that a lot of people don't know how important it is. It's important in your personal life, but it's ultra important if you're running a business to get your credit. I'll never forget where I was sitting. I was having dinner with a friend of mine. This was when I first started my law firm, I don't know, a decade ago. His name's Tim. Forgot his last name. Friend of mine. We were having dinner at Christini's. He was buying because he's loaded. He has this big construction company. And I was like, Tim, I don't really care about my credit because, I just pay cash for everything. And he looked at me like I had 5 heads. Then he wanted to jump across the table and punch me. He didn't dare jump across the table because he ordered this really nice bottle of wine. It was like in the decanter thing because he's rich, So he didn't jump across the table, but he looked at me like he wanted to jump off the table. And he was right. And I think about that sometimes when I think about how I need to keep my credit clean because heaven forbid the law firm struggles. Maybe no one wants to file bankruptcy anymore. Maybe something bad happens and we go through a decline. You need to borrow money to keep the business afloat, or you need to be able to borrow money, or you need the vendors to give you credit for 30 days or 60 days. That credit is so important for business owners, Alyssa, is it not?
It is dire important. And we cannot how we run our personal life is usually how we run our business. And so we have to start doing better somewhere, saving, actually working on your business credit. And literally, when you first start a business, they're not basing it. Your business has no credit. So guess what they're pulling?
Yeah, personal. 100%. How important do you think that having some ingenuity and some self-drive is to make a business owner successful?
It is major important. It's been those days that I've probably quit every night. Quit every night, and I wake up the next morning and I'm like, gosh darn, I've invested too much. I got to keep going. You have to motivate yourself and get you some business buddies that you can call and keep each other accountable. Keep yourself on task. I think the most important thing I've told someone was keeping a schedule, like you are clocking in on a job, keeping a schedule and continuously monitoring how you are bringing in the bucks.
I'm on vacation right now.
You're on vacation?
Yeah, and
Wow.
I'm in a suit here at my law firm doing this radio show because I'm a business owner. I have multiple businesses. People, and Pilar will even tell me. Pilar's my wife. She'll be like, dude, you own the business. Get out of there. I'm like, you just, I don't necessarily think that you totally understand. It's a 24-hour.
It is.
7 days a week, 365-day a year commitment. And I don't care, especially for someone starting out. I mean, especially if you're starting out. Yeah, if you've been doing a decade, 15 years, whatever, you have it running like a well-oiled machine, that's one thing. But if you're just starting out, you got to be prepared to work how many hours a week?
I stopped calculating it probably about 70 hours. I remember those 2 o'clock in the morning sending out things, but I did learn to work smarter. Once I developed some processes on what works, it cut down my time as time went on. And if you're not, looking at that stuff and saying, okay, you know what, this process helped me get to this spot, and that took 2 hours. Now you would just cut off another 2 hours, and instead of 2 o'clock in the morning, now I go to bed at 10, so I'm dope.
And I think working smarter is one of the most valuable lessons a business owner can learn. Let's have Alyssa Hogan tell us how to work smarter, and we'll play Stump the Clarkie. Right on the other side of this very short break, it is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
So you're on vacation.
Yeah. Now, I've been working all week. I haven't taken one day off.
He's been coming in dressed for vacation.
Yeah.
But he's coming into work.
That's pretty good vacation wear.
Is it?
Well,
Should have came in with some Hawaiian shorts on and a tank top.
yeah. I mean, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program. Justin Clark here with you on another edition of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. I have the beautiful Brianna to my right. Hello, Brianna.
Hello, Justin.
You can watch us every weekend, 2 television shows for your viewing pleasure. Saturday, 12:30 on CBS, it is You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And then Sunday, it is this show, Behind the Law, but it's Behind the Law on TV with me and Brianna at 10 a.m. on TV 27. Also, you can interact with us every single weeknight by following at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even over on Twitch. Brianna, it is hot out. when we're getting heat warnings in Florida in July? You know?
That is
we're
true.
I mean, you just want to say, duh. We get it. I mean,
Yeah, it's
you're
gonna be
right.
hot. That's
It's
the thing.
going to be hot. We're pretty used to it. I mean, at some point, it's just damn hot. I mean, I don't know if I can even feel a difference. Does it feel hotter to you now? I mean, if anything, I'm just feeling hotter because I'm getting heat warnings on my phone.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely hotter. I notice a difference, especially when you get in your car.
Yeah.
It's just like
I know. I have black leather interior. It's
Sticky
terrible.
hot.
But the car is white. Does that make a difference?
Nah, it
the
doesn't
black
help.
leather is really warm. It's hot.
gotta darken the tent.
Joined today by Alyssa Hogan, founder of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. Hello, Alyssa. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
So when you walked in today, you said, "I'm happy to see you, but I hope we're not playing that dumb game again." Because you said your father was listening, and I guess I beat you last time. What was the category? Do you
no,
remember?
I was beat up, just
Oh, yeah?
beat up in general. I don't think it was you.
man.
I just
Do you remember what the category was?
I do. It was all about marketing.
It was about marketing.
It was.
was it about trivia,
right.
business? How many
Yeah.
business owners,
Well-
small? And I was just throwing out these.
Well, the good thing is you get retaliation
is true.
against me today. We're going to play Stump the Clarky. Brianna's going to ask us 4 questions. We'll write all 4 answers down. Play along at home if you wish at Behind the Law Radio, and then we'll come back and we'll score this game. Are you ready to play?
Don't judge me.
All right, and now it's time for Stop the Clarky. Come on, Clarky. We need you to get over here. We got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarky. Get over here.
I don't judge. Don't worry. I will not judge one
He won't judge you.
bit. But, Dad, if you're listening again, please, if it doesn't go well, please take it easy on Alyssa when she gets home tonight.
Please.
Yes,
All
this
right.
is true.
Brianna, what is said category today?
So the category today is all going to be about social media and businesses.
Social media and businesses. I might know a little teeny beady something here. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Couple of things.
It's certainly better than yesterday's category, which was like, what, Pert Plus or something.
Yeah, it was all about natural hair care, which you
Ah!
need to brush up on a bit,
Oh,
Justin.
man.
We noticed.
Look, you just give me a 3-in-1 Head and Shoulders. I'll do shampoo, conditioner, body wash all in once.
Yeah,
I
doesn't
don't
work.
care.
Question 1. Question 1. Google is responsible for how much organic search traffic? Google is responsible for how much? Oh, sorry. What
this a
percentage
okay.
of organic search traffic?
It's a lot.
It's
But we also have what? Bing.
Is
What
that
else?
an answer?
Yeah.
A lot?
it's a percentage. It better be a lot percent.
You know what? In fact, I think this is going to be a little less than I think.
Maybe. We'll see.
But Google does own it. Google, I mean, they just make it so much
Yeah,
money.
there's Bing and there's Yahoo and there's other MSN
People,
still
those
out there
other
apparently.
search engines.
AOL.
AOL, I don't know about that.
As we're putting in.
Anyway.
Well, like Google.
So question number 2, and there's 5 questions today.
Oh, wow.
I know. So question number 2, what percentage of businesses admit that generating leads and traffic is a challenge? What percentages of business admit that generating leads and traffic is a challenge?
I mean, look, if it's not a challenge, you need to stay in that business.
Right. You're doing something right. Question number 3. What percentage of businesses fail due to cash flow problems?
Ooh, that's what we were just talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Cash flow.
I went and looked the number up and I threw it in, so that gave us our 5th question. But what percentage of businesses fail due to cash flow problems?
The scary music.
I know, right? It's like you're in one of those escape rooms
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
I did one of those with you once, didn't I?
Yeah, I yelled at you. I'm sorry.
Were we on the same team, Rob? We're in
We
the same
were in
room?
the same room.
Was
Oh,
he any
yeah.
help?
No.
What did you yell at me about? I was
Because
an
you were
idiot.
walking around holding clues.
I was walking around like
He was
I
walking
wanna get-
around holding clues saying, this
keys in
means
his
something.
hand.
I know it. This means something.
Have you ever been in one of those escape rooms? I was completely
I
disinterested. I was like,
have.
please, can I get out of here?
I was so upset.
And I just expected to do so much better.
I was like, go
and
stand in the corner.
You know, like the dude who comes over the loudspeaker. I was like, dude, can we just
us
get
a
out of
clue.
here? This is like,
We almost didn't get out because of that same dude.
I was like, let's cut the charade here. This is stupid. Please let me out.
I was upset. I'm not going to lie. I get really competitive in those.
Question number 4.
Question 4. How many small businesses are there currently in the United States?
Oh, jeez.
Small businesses, if you remember, are those that have 500 or less employees. How many small businesses are there currently in the United States?
And one final question for a Stump the Clarkie tonight. Justin Clark versus Alyssa Hogan of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. A very special question 5.
Answer this. According to HubSpot, what social media platform is the most effective for delivering content and securing audience engagement? According to HubSpot, which social media platform is the most effective for delivering content and securing audience engagement?
That's a tough one.
I think so. But I mean, you're limited in what's a social media platform, so.
YouPorn?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
One
Let's
of his special sites that we don't know about for
Let's-
engagement.
Let's score this game tonight. All right. Question number 1.
We're gonna get kicked off the air. Google is responsible for how much organic search traffic?
Let's go to our very special guest, Alyssa Hogan. What did you say?
90%.
90%. Like I think it's definitely high, and I was thinking that range. Then I went a little bit lower. I went with 72%. What's the right answer?
94%.
Whoa! Congratulations, Alyssa. You are
Check
on
mark
the
for
board.
me.
Your dad is going to be so much more
And I
proud
got
of you already.
1.
Did you get 0 last time?
0.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
It was horrible.
And you
It
still
was
came back on
nothing
the
but-
show.
I know.
Question number 2.
What percentage of businesses admit that generating leads and traffic is a challenge?
I went really high because if I'm wrong, business owners are lying. 92%. Alyssa Hogan,
99.
99%.
Like, I mean, it's the life of the
I know.
business.
What's the right answer?
64%.
Get out of here, you liars.
I guess they
I
are.
know they're lying.
I would like.
Notice the question said admitted.
Oh yeah, admitted.
Liars. We're going to put that
It's
on there.
you know.
All right, it is 1-1 with 3 questions to go on Stump the Clarkie. Justin Clark, Alyssa Hogan, Brianna.
What percentage of businesses fail due to cash flow problems?
Let's go with you, Alyssa. What did you say?
I'm going to go with 50%.
50%. I went higher, 71%.
I wanted to.
What is the right answer?
82%.
82%, Justin
I
Clark.
wanted to go higher. I was giving them credit.
Yeah.
Cash flow. Big.
Justin
Okay.
Clark pulls ahead 2-1 with 2 questions to go. Question 4.
Wait a minute. You only got 1. Wait a
Oh
minute.
no, I think I got 2, right?
No.
Yeah, and
The other one was 64%.
Yeah. You had
So he got that
99%.
one.
Okay.
That's all right. You got 2 questions.
2 questions to go.
I have a
Yeah.
good feeling you're gonna get this game. Don't worry.
How many small businesses are there currently in the United States?
All right, let's go to Alyssa Hogan. Go ahead.
Me again?
Okay, I'll go first. I went with 7 million. It's a tough question. I went with 7 million. What do you have, Alyssa?
I'm really low. 1.2 million.
Hey, you might be right. I don't know. I might be really high. Brianna, what is the right answer?
The right answer is 28
Oh,
million.
wow. That's a lot.
God.
But, this is considering a lot of small, like, online, Amazon-type
Yeah.
retailers or whatever.
Even if they're not making any money.
Exactly.
Right. It's
Ah.
still incorporated. It's a business.
All right, last question. If Alyssa gets this one right, she can tie the game tonight.
You can do this.
What
Ready.
What is the question?
According to HubSpot, which social media platform is the most effective for delivering content and securing audience engagement?
Alyssa Hogan.
Let's go with Instagram.
I also went with Instagram. I'm going to guess it's LinkedIn, though. I went with Instagram. What's the right answer?
It's LinkedIn.
We both lose. Alyssa Hogan.
So here it is.
You did
Memo.
much.
Use the
LinkedIn. You did much better today. Your dad is going to be proud and stick around. One more segment ahead with Alyssa Hogan of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. After this very short break, it's Justin Clark on Behind the Law.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us. Clarky, let's get out of here, buddy. My stomach thinks my throat's cut. I'm starving.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm redeemed.
You
Yep.
are redeemed. You have more questions correct than last time.
It was like womp womp.
Where was I at? Was I in where was I at? Was I in Colorado or El Salvador?
I don't know.
What did you do in Colorado?
It was my best friend's wedding.
Smoking.
Nope, we didn't smoke.
Oh.
We drank a lot. Wait, is this thing on?
There's nothing to do in Colorado, right?
It was a wedding weekend. I mean, she had activities. Trust me, our schedule was full.
She was eating gummy bears. Are you ready to go?
We did play a lot of PlayStation VR. That was fun.
Oh, really?
Oh, whatever.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. One final segment ahead of Behind the Law. My name is attorney Justin Clark. If you have any questions, give me a call. 321-282-1055. The beautiful Brianna is here to my right. Hello, Brianna.
Hey.
Well, hey, so Brianna and I did a TV show today, right? A couple hours of radio.
We
The
did.
TV show was cool. We had, who was on there?
We did. We had Keith Ory of Zombie House Flippers
Yeah,
on
the
there.
people from
Ashley,
Zombie
she was
House
great.
Flippers.
Yeah.
They were cool. And then another good realtor was there as
We
well.
did. We had some, and those homes were amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out the show. It'll be on Saturday.
It's gonna be Saturday.
at 12:30 p.m. on CBS. Watch us or DVR the show. It's actually a really, really good show. And
It is a good show.
And then this show is also like kind of a best of every Sunday at 10 a.m. on TV 27. You can see me and Brianna right there. And Brianna has a wardrobe sponsor now, so she's always wearing new, nice clothes. Meanwhile, the star of the show here, I get nothing. Nobody. Nobody's
me?
reached out like, hey man,
You've never
we own
asked.
we own a clothing company. We'd like to get you a suit for the show. No one, not a peep.
This is true.
Join today, right here on Behind the Law with Alyssa. Alyssa Hogan's here of Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. When I think of you as a business coach.
Yes.
Is that a good way to describe
That
you or
is
no?
that's what I am. But there are so many business coaches out here, and we all do different things.
So
when it
what
comes
is
to
your
business.
specialty? What do you do? What do you really focus on?
I focus on planning. I am a business plan writer, so I will plan you to death. We will plan to the next level. And I'm a strategist, so we come up with different ways to increase. When you are stuck and you hit a roadblock and said, I'm at 70,000, I don't know what to do. I come up with some strategies to increase your income.
When do I know it's time to reach out and get someone like you involved with my business? When do I know I need help getting over that hump?
Well, when you're not making any more money, you hit that wall of what am I going to do next? Do I need to hire? Who do I need to hire? What's next? What's the next product? What's the next service?
We were talking earlier about ingenuity, and I always know when I have lawyers that come through my law firm that if they're going to be good solo practitioners, have their own firm, because they don't necessarily have to come to me with everything, ask me everything. They sort of have their own ideas, and business owners need to have their own ideas. They have to figure out how to make business work for them. One thing that you've learned is these government contracts. And I've always been fascinated with government contracts because they can really make a lot of money, and it's sort of guaranteed paid money for businesses. I mean, what kind of businesses can really reach out to the local governments or state government or whatever to actually get business that way?
Wow, they have a little bit of everything. There's even some corporations that are giving out Valencia, the colleges, the Army, believe it or not, they're looking for barbers. They have the same. I saw a fitness bid come up. So they're looking for every service. You just have to take the time out. Consistent. Can you think of just not my dream of being a business owner wasn't just to have a one-on-one relationship with a business owner where they determine whether I'm making money or not. And so I started to say, okay, what can I do to have a long term where I can kind of estimate what I'm going to be making next year? Mm-hmm. And it was getting contracts, year contracts. And that's what the government offers.
How do I apply for these sort of things? What do I need to do?
Well, you got to go on fbo.gov. And I just found out that they don't even post anything below 25,000.
Really?
So now you know. The startup,
Yeah.
We're starting at 25,000, and imagine you can hit six figures really quickly in a year with just one contract. But you got to provide those services or those products, which they are product and service-based businesses.
Yeah. What is the application process like? Is it a very exhaustive thing, or are they just going to say, okay, yeah, you're in?
Well, believe it or not, it is not exhaustive. You just have to be consistent. You have to know the right process. I actually looked it up last night, and it was about 5 processes, and they all connect. But if one thing is out of order, like you don't have an EIN or your EIN is in a different name business, it'll flag it and throw it back.
Yeah.
So
Make sure you have your I's dotted and T's crossed before you send it in, because I think there is quite a bit of competition often.
Oh yeah.
And I know business owners who this is how they make a living, is just going in and bidding on government contracts. And it's something that a lot of business owners don't think of, or they think that there's nothing that the government needs with the product I sell. I really think you should reach out. What was that website again you said that we could go to?
The FBO.gov.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a great place to find it. Or what about you? I mean, let's say you're my business coach or my business advisor. Can you help me through that sort of thing? Is that kind of what you do?
That is what I do. That is definitely what I do. I find out what it is that you want. How do you want to increase revenue? We throw out some different options. And if your business would be definitely a good fit, some things I've actually saw pop up. You're a janitor. Perfect. I mean, of course, you don't want to fly across the country and be a janitor in Hawaii, but locally, there are contracts out there. And the way to get them, I now help business owners get minority business certifications, because the process can be tedious. My first time in this process took me about 2 weeks off and on. Of course, I wasn't just doing it. I was working my business at the same time. But I don't think I'm, the smartest cookie.
Hey, come on.
But yeah, it is pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult, and people often give up. They get stuck and they get stumped by one question, and they don't complete the application. So I help push them through.
Justin Clark here on Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, talking to Alyssa Hogan, Alyssa Hogan Enterprises. She is telling us how to take our business to the very next level. Let's say I own a business that's minority owned, or let's say I'm African American. I'm some sort of minority. Are there programs out there that could help my business?
Yes, that's part of the certification process, to verify that you are actually 51% of the owner. Because, I mean, think about it. Wouldn't it be so easy to say that you were? Yeah. And they have a certain amount of contracts set aside, and a minority has to be on every contract. How about that?
What do you say to someone who says, you know what? I don't care about that. I'm not going to let my minority status help me out in this and whatsoever. What would you tell them?
Okay. Dial it back.
Your face.
Don't be. It's your business is legitimate.
Yeah.
And you're actually providing a service. Why not take advantage? It's just giving you the upper hand to compete with larger organizations that have always been in business or that have had the edge over you. So why not put you on an even playing field? It's like having, you have a 6-year-old competing against a 10-year-old, and I give them a stepper to step up. And now they're the same height. They both can see over the fence. You wouldn't want the stepper? You want to keep jumping?
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you keep jumping.
So let's say that I call Alyssa Hogan and I say, look, Alyssa, my business is bringing in $200,000 a year and I just can't get it past that. What's the process like from there?
I would do an evaluation on your business and assess where you are, what are you doing that's working well in your business, looking at taking away things that aren't working, that you're actually putting time into. And then we'll look where you plan to go, what your vision is for your business, that 5-year plan.
Yep.
Remember, I told you I was a planner, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when I say plan, people look at me with the dirty look. Are you looking at me with the dirty look?
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, and then with that plan, to look at your 5-year plan of where you want to be financially, where you want to be overall, your goals for your business, but you have to actually set them. So I kind of force people to actually set goals.
Yep.
Short term and long term. And then we make up a plan on how to get there. And when they hit a roadblock, then I'm there to walk them through it. It's like having a partner,
Sure.
but I'm not your partner.
And let's hold each other accountable for some of these timelines, some of these goals. That's all it takes sometimes is be a little bit real with yourself, but also really plan, and your business could go to the next level. If you are stuck, if you're feeling stagnant in your business, I want you to call Alyssa Hogan with Alyssa Hogan Enterprises by calling
407-308-5838.
and reach out to her digitally by going where?
to Alyssa, ALYSSAAHOGAN.co.
Excellent job today. I hope your dad is more proud. I mean, you
I
really
hope so
did
too,
well
Dad.
in Stump the
I
Clerk.
came on here. I didn't even study. I started to study, but I didn't know what to study. So
You are welcome back anytime. Great job tonight. Brianna, good job. I don't know much, but I do know one little thing.
What's that?
I know two little things.
Is it?
Number one, you look tired. And number two, I'm going to see you right back here tomorrow night on ESPN
Wow.
580 Orlando.
Bye-bye. See you on Monday.